Hello and welcome to another installment of the IBM Content Analyzer version 1.4 quick enablement recordings. My name is Dan Wimé. Here's some of my contact information. And here's a link to some neat materials for enablement, demos, and so on. So take a note of this link. What we're going to cover now is a new feature in 1.4 called machine learning key value pairs. You're basically going to learn how to teach the system how to find value pairs using the new design tool. So let's go ahead and get started with that. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about machine learning for key value pairs. We had machine learning for classification as of version 1.3, but in version 1.4 we now have machine learning for the key value extraction as well. So the very first thing you have to do, you click on this icon over here, the machine learning model icon, and then you're going to be asked to upload a document. I'm going to do that right now. So you're going to, first of all, I should select the right document class. I want to add a loan application, and then you drag a document into this box. It's going to take a few seconds to process the training file. Once it's ready, it'll say ready for training. Okay, now we see the document is ready for training. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this document. This again is a new interface. It gives you a quick view of the document here. You can highlight the OCR words. This helps you see how the blocking was selected, all the words that it found, and so on. Interesting little view of the document. But what we're really interested in is this icon in the top right. We're going to click that. That is the Design Studio. When you get into the Design Studio, what I like to do at the very first step is to click the Show All KVP. This highlights all of the key value pairs that it found on the document itself. You can either click on the value here to expand it, or you can click on any of the values that are located on the document. So in this case here, we want to add a few fields. Let's go ahead and add SBA application number. So we're going to click on that. Okay, now that we've got the information here, we see the key is correct, the value is correct. What we don't have is a key class. So you click Add. You can go and look to see if there's a key that exists already. I know that there isn't one. This is a new field I want to grab. So I'm going to click on Create a New Key Class. You can leave the name there, or you can change it to whatever you want. I like to have a simple name that I can find easily in the ontology. But this one looks okay. I'm going to choose a numeric type, and I'm going to click Next. Now in this case, I can add additional aliases, but I know that all of these SBA forms have the same label. So I'm going to leave that alone. I'll click Next. Again, extractors, don't need it for this one. Validators, that's not that for this particular field. So we'll click Next and click Finish. So now we've got our first field. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for the FEMA registration. Again, the fields look okay. I'm going to click Add, create a new key class. The name looks okay. Again, this is going to be an integer. I'm going to keep clicking Next until the end, and I hit Finish. Okay, now let's go get some other fields. You'll notice that if I look at, let's see here what we have. I want to pick up the first name, last name, a social security number. Let's go ahead and pick up the first name. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a plus sign. Just hit the plus sign, key in or click into the key field, and just drag a box around the first name, click into the value field, drag a box around the name, click Save. Once again, I need to add a key class. So let's go ahead and do that. First name, this is going to be alphabetic. This time, we're going to go ahead and click Next. We're going to add a couple of aliases. Maybe it's, in some cases, it might be something like this, right? You can add some aliases. I'm going to click Next. All right, and we're going to click Finish. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a field for the social security number. We see that it hasn't been found yet because it's not in pink. So what we're going to do is we're going to go again down to the plus sign, and we're going to grab the social security number, click on the value, and grab the value here, save that. And now we're going to add a key class for social security number. Again, we're going to do numeric. This is one of those where I may build a special object type that will have the validation built into it because it's a very common field that I use. But since I don't have one, we're going to build it manually here. So in this case, it could be SSN. It could be maybe employees, social security number. etc. So you enter your different aliases. All right, so when we get into the validator here, what I want to do is I'm going to create a quick validator for this field. So we're going to call it, I like to prefix them with something that I can recognize. So I'm going to call this valid SSN. And I'm going to create, let's see, it's going to be one of these characters, maybe a space, and it's going to be 9 to 11 characters. Let's test that real quick. That passes. What if there's dashes in here? That passes as well. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and save that. Click Next, click Finish. Okay, so I've trained it on a few fields now. We're not going to do more fields than that. I just want to give you an idea. Now what we got to do is go back to the main machine learning model page and click on KVP details. Click the train button. It only takes a fraction of a second. And then you're going to see some statistics on what you've trained. Now, notice if KVP effectiveness is low because I didn't train it on all the stuff that it found. A lot of these are just out of the box. You can play with these as much as you want, but for now, I think that's all we need to do. We've trained it on this model. What I'm going to do now is go into this field, this document, which is loan application 1, and I'm going to resubmit because we don't have the SBA, we don't have the FEMA. I'm going to resubmit. And while it's doing that, let's go ahead and grab application number 2. Let those process. Okay, our documents have been processed. Let's go and check document 1 to start. All right, so now we've got the SBA, we've got the FEMA, we've got the first name, we've got the social security number. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the other document. Now, the other document's a different format. You notice I dragged boxes around the first one, but I didn't do that for the second one. The second one's just a document with a different format. So we can see here we've got the FEMA, we've got the SBA, and we also have the social security number. Now remember, we put different aliases for the employee social security number, so it's important to put the right amount of aliases. I could have done SSN, I could have done employees SSN, all of these variations to increase the amount of data that I can find on different formats of forms. So that's it. That's machine learning. It's a very easy, very quick way to teach a new document class.